Good morning, Napa Valley. So good to see you this morning and be in your presence, whether you're here online or in person. It's a beautiful day. We're just letting the rain come down on us today and feeling the prosperity and the abundance and the liveliness of this rain. So we're just so grateful for this. So happy that you're with us today. And as usual, we like to start with a little music, so I'm going to turn it over here.
Okay, we got to teach you this thing.
We're going to do something really unusual, and that is some Latin. You know, we got some Latin here.
Real Latin from way back. And then we combined it with Latin from today, and it's perfect.
So if you want to sing with us, all you need to know is this.
Gloria, Gloria.
One more time.
Gloria, Gloria.
And if you're a harmonizer, go for it.
And then, wait, there's the guy part. It used to be the guy part.
Okay. The next part.
In excelsis Deo Gloria.
Just a scale. In excelsis Deo Gloria. That's it. You got it.
Let's rock it. Good night. Thank you very much.
Let's do this. Deo Gloria. In excelsis Deo Gloria. Excelsis Deo Gloria. In excelsis Deo Gloria. In excelsis Deo Gloria. In excelsis Deo Gloria.
To have you here with us today. So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Pride Month, so we're celebrating that today, this month, along with, this is the month of Juneteenth, so many things to celebrate this month. I am a proud ally, as well as together as Centers for Spiritual Living, the 400 centers across this nation have never not been open affirming. We never had to make that decision that some denominations make to be open affirming. We always have been. In fact, our founder, Ernest Holmes, the first churches were in LA, and some of the churches were close to Hollywood. And some of those stars who were closeted at the time, who didn't have permission to be out or they would have lost their careers, came to that center because they felt affirmed and honored and appreciated. So we're glad to be part of that tradition that is that's proud allies and proud supporters in that way. So glad to be here. We'd like to begin with our vision and mission statement of our center. So we begin by saying, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. This past Friday and Saturday, we had two memorials, and this vision really showed up with these two people who are members of our center, that they lived their life intentionally loving unconditionally and seeing God in all people and all faiths. And if you were not able to make it and you were interested in doing that, that would be for Jeannie Norbit and Gary Stamper. And both of those are available online, the same link that took you to the memorial if you want to watch those. Jean particularly was, I mean, both of them were very touching, and quite a few people here that were from outside our center, and they heard us talk about this center, and they were touched by how we believe in this eternal life, that you don't have to earn, that everybody has by nature of their inheritance, by the nature of who they are, that they were spiritual beings before coming into this body and continue to be spiritual beings after they leave this body. And we celebrated the life of both Jean and Gary on Friday and Saturday. You will also see, we left some of Gary's artwork up that he did. That's why there's unusual things in the corner there, but they're great artwork. And a great story about him is that he passed away in Panama. He was living in Panama, and he was in a boat. He was very sick. He was in a great deal of pain from cancer, and knew he was on his way to transition, but didn't know which day or anything. So he happened to be in a boat that was transporting him, a water taxi, and dolphins began to swim by him, jumping up, escorting the boat, and he passed away at that time. So we imagine that he was escorted to the next life by dolphins. And we imagine Jean being escorted to her next life by angels. But either way, it's the same life that they live. So we're grateful for that. And also, on a side note, also that he wrote a book called Awakening the Masculine, The Path of the Integral Warrior. And these are available in the lobby if you want a copy, if you know somebody to want to pass it on to, or for yourself. We just ask you give a donation for it. There's no price to it. And then this book is, I want to say, first of all, this person is alive and well, so don't think I'm transitioning this person. So, but this book is by Richard Hines, or as we know him, Dick, here in our community, and he's written a book called Memoir of a Soul, which has poetry and prose. These are available also that he wrote. People don't buy books as much as they used to, so he just wants people to read it and give him feedback if you want to, but those are available in our lobby as well. So either one of those. The other important things we have coming up are at the end of this month, we have the Unbottled Summer Concert Series starting with Karen Drucker on June 25th. That'll be out in our courtyard. We've postponed it a little later until 5:30 because we wanted to begin cooling off into the evening. And what we invite you to do is bring a picnic, BYO, your own beverage that you want to bring, and just sit out and enjoy the courtyard. We're also talking about in August, we used to have an annual picnic with a talent show, to have our talent show in our own courtyard. And you'll hear more about that, a potluck or something also in the evening, and other concerts we may sponsor, or a movie, just different things. We have such a fine courtyard, we want to be able to celebrate it. And then on July 30th, so that's not that far away, is Crush MS. And this is an event that was started by Kevin Reed and was in honor of doing research and education about MS and helping the cause in every way. And it's out at the Reed Family Vineyard. It's a beautiful day. And today and tomorrow are the last days to get your early discount tickets. So this is the cheapest price you can get them for, so they are on sale. We recommend that you get your tickets now. And also, if you're interested in volunteering, Karen Reed is back here. She doesn't have her clipboard with her today. Oh, yes, she does. So if you're interested in volunteering, do you want to say anything, Karen?
Well, we couldn't do Crush MS without all of you. As I look out at your faces, at least half of you have helped us with Crush MS every year since the beginning, and we appreciate it so much. So see me after the service, and I'll get you on the list for what you'd like to do with us this year. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And for those of you who are online, let's give her a round of applause, and Crush and Kirk and everybody. So for those of you who are online who couldn't hear that, Karen was just saying that she's would love to have volunteers, that they can't do Crush MS without the volunteers. And that's been a community service project for us every year now. For how many years you've been doing it now? Started in 2014. So we encourage you to be a part of it. It's an important cause, and to contribute in the way of your time. And if you are interested, if you could email office@nvcsl.com, we'll make sure your name gets to Karen to be able to inform that. Or if you're here, talk to Karen today. Okay? We do have a tent set outside for food and refreshments. You know, if you can, it's light rain, so if you get back there into the tent, then you'll be able to enjoy some time, community, like we always have each week. A couple things coming up. Next week, we have the Spanish speaking service. That's next week, right? Second and fourth Sundays. So if you're interested in that, or know somebody who might be interested in that, please, Martha is here today. You can talk to Martha, or go online. It's the same link that on our website. There's all the information about it. Also, one of our community service projects is the Greens Bag Project that we have every other month. It's always the even month, so here we are in an even month in June. So next Sunday will be the collection. If you're not part of this program already, I encourage you to be part of it. What you do is take this bag home with you, you fill it up with non-perishable food, and you bring it back. It's that simple. We'll take it over to the food bank the next day. We've given probably 5 or 6 tons of food since we started it, and it's part of Napa Can Do, and they've given, I don't know, tens of, thousands of tons probably. It's really been a lot of food. I don't have the exact statistics, but we encourage you to be a part of it to help those who have food insecurity in their lives. The food goes out to the food pantries that are across this county, 7 of them, so it really helps out. So thank you for doing that. And then if you have any other questions, our website is available. Oh, one more thing, the peace pole. So we do have a roving peace pole that goes to your yard. We just ask you give a donation to the center as part of a fundraising, but we will deliver it to your yard, your front yard, your backyard, whatever you want to. You'll have it for a month, so it's kind of a fun thing to have. Not only is it something to show your support and advocacy for peace, but it's actually an energy that you bring to your home that brings peace to your home. So we encourage you to be a part of that. And just let Mary or Johanna, stand up for a minute if you could. People know Johanna, that let her know, then she'll be glad to write your name down. So thank you, Johanna. And now we'll begin our sacred part of our service.
Feelings rise. Whoa, let my feelings rise. Whoa, let my feelings rise. Whoa, from my heart. Let my feelings rise.
It's Pride Month, and I want to share with you a special prayer called Queer Morning Blessings. Blessed are you, awakener, life of all worlds. Blessed are you, sacred light, who illuminates and shines upon everyone and everything. Blessed are you, nameless and infinite, who made us in your image. Blessed are you, holy breath, who fills me with this gift every day. Blessed are you, the way, who meets me where I am. Blessed are you, you of many names, who loves me just as I am. Let us take the next moment and know that the God of many names and labels loves each one of us of many names and labels, just as we are. Good morning again. May was quite the month. Continuation of wars all over the world, climate change, politics, past, present, future, Buffalo, Texas, and everything else in between. That's what May looked like. Sometimes we just simply need a break. That doesn't mean that we don't help. We continue to be the change that we want to see. But still, we need to take a break. You might think it's silly, but June is a glorious month. Look at all that's going on in June that's positive. World Caring Day, National Red Rose Day, Juneteenth, Father's Day, Summer's Giving. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. Anyway, I saved this slide for last. Do you have that good looking? There it is. Today, always the first Friday in June, and some say the first Monday, is National Donut Day. Anyway, the history of the donut began with the Salvation Army and their work of serving the military. So in 1917, in the front lines of France in World War I, a couple of women started making donuts. They didn't have frying pans, they were in the trenches, and they used soldiers' helmets. The soldiers loved them. And the women, got a picture of those soldiers? Those women. Anyway, that was 1917, and the women were nicknamed Donut Lassies. And the donut, of course, came across the Atlantic, and people in the United States loved them. But guess what the soldiers returning home from World War I were called? I don't think anybody here was alive then. The next one, hon. The one right before that. But that's okay. They were called doughboys. Anyway. The donut today is a symbol for all of the social services that the Salvation Army provides. They still, and you can see it on that poster that they have, they still serve donuts wherever they go, fires, floods, other disasters. And the first Friday in June is officially National Donut Day. And if you were out any place, Dunkin' Donuts, wherever, they were giving free donuts. And you might ask, what does this have to do with practicing CSL principles? All of these days in June, they're an opportunity to practice gratitude, to express appreciation, to honor the beauty and goodness that exists. Think of someone for whom one red rose might bring untold cheer. On Flag Day, go out of your way to thank a veteran. Summer's Giving is a new one, new holiday. Just a couple years ago, it's Thanksgiving in the summer. So get your turkey, your sweet potatoes, your pumpkin pie out on Summer's Giving Day. Last year, the Salvation Army released the recipe for Donut Lassies. It was a big day. So if you stay after the service, I hear tell that there's some of those out there in the tent just waiting. Not the original ones. Also, the recipe's out there, but you need to find a helmet someplace to make them. So thank you. Have a good day. Stay dry.
Okay.
Yummy. There's a song we wrote for the Pride sections of our year called Choose Love.
Actually,
Well,
this
actually-
is Be Yourself.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We've always wanted to play this song for you guys, so we're doing it now. You know, I didn't have my coffee over there, and I usually go right over there and have coffee. Choose love. Those are the words. Oh, that's a wrong song. No, we're doing Be Yourself.
Let's just do this before you dig a hole and.
You
call
guys
it.
don't let me play without the coffee from the back. Don't do it. It won't work. It's not right. I love this song.
Every snowflake has a different shape. Every raindrop has a path to take. Every diamond has a different shine. Every atom in itself divine. Be authentic, be alive. Listen to your heart inside. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, yeah, yeah. Be yourself. Too much conformity can make you choke. Every painter has a different stroke. You have a calling, it's time to seek. Why creation made us all unique. Be authentic, be alive. Listen to that little voice inside. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, yeah, yeah. Be yourself, be yourself, yeah. Inner guidance gonna make you sing and be connected with everything. Love and joy you cannot miss. Be yourself and follow your bliss. Be connected, be alive. Listen to your heart inside. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, yeah, yeah. Be yourself, be yourself. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, yeah, yeah. Be yourself.
If that was you guys without coffee, I don't know what we'd get with coffee. That was beautiful, beautiful. And by the way, Peggy, I thought every day was donut day. I didn't know you had to wait a certain day, but now I know when to look for the free donuts. That's good. Yeah, what day? It's the first Saturday in June? Is that what you said? First Friday in June, so we've already missed it this year. So next year, I'm going to put it on my calendar, so it's great. So today we are talking about the new month, a new theme, and proud to be me. We've gone around the wheel in different ways. We're continuing to move around, but this one I just so resonate with, because not only is it Pride Month, it's, one of our deep, long passions here, our visions, is to give everyone permission to be their authentic self, to act out of their spiritual magnificence, to waken that up, and not only here in the community through our classes, our workshops, our services, but also through inspiring others in the way we live, in outside and everything else we do, to awaken spiritual magnificence. Just think about that term, awakening spiritual magnificence. Now, it does take a time to understand what that magnificence is sometimes, and yet we're doing the best we can at any given moment. And today we're going to be talking about how our body is a temple. It's a sacred, this body that we have within us. In 1 Corinthians, the verse goes, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit? Which is a beautiful verse, but it's surrounded by shame and disrespect for our bodies, about that the thing that our body is a sin. So it's the Bible is so contradicting at times, it's hard to know what to lean into. It justifies, quite frankly, systems of oppression, of slavery and misogyny, of discrimination. And so we know that's not God. We know that's the ways of the human. So I lean into more of the mystical teachings, and sometimes the Bible comes out with little wisdom teachings. I go, oh, I know, I resonate with that. I know the truth of that. It's not because of what I believe. It's because I know it's a resonation. It's aligning with what Spirit really is. Love. And love is love is love. I do like the mystical teachings of the Kabbalah about, just bear with me on this one. So the mystical teachings, they talk about the tree of life is the symbol for the Kabbalah. And what it says, that your divine, spiritual, emotional, physical beings correspond to the four elements on this planet: fire, air, water, and earth. So what the teachings of the Kabbalah, which is the mystical part of Judaism, if you don't know that, says we originate with a divine body which corresponds to the element fire. And that makes sense to me because I experience Spirit as the divine spark within me. And we descend into the world to spirit and take on a spiritual body corresponding to the element air. Now this was unique for me because but it makes sense. It's how I experience is this all-encompassing God, Spirit, divine intelligence, but then I experience Spirit here within me, so we descend into this spiritual body, and it's the element air, which we think of in the Bible. It talks about how God breathed air into us. It moved over the water. Often the Holy Spirit is considered the wind by Native Americans. They talk about the Great Spirit as being wind. So this too corresponds with what I've experienced. And then it says we descend into our emotional world of the psyche and take on our psychological body corresponding to the element of water. And finally, we descend into our physical body that corresponds with the element earth. To me, that makes sense, and it also helps me be grounded in this body because it's so important to be in our body. When things get uncomfortable in our lives, When we feel pain, whether emotional or physical pain, we tend to go out of our bodies, maybe into our psychological body or our mental body. But what's true about our bodies is that there are memories stored in our body. Our pain, our hurts, our wounds are stored in here, not necessarily where we're physically wounded, but it's a memory. Our heart has as much memory as our brain does, and so do our other organs. It's fascinating. The people that have had a heart transplant, so they have a heart of another person in their body, they start having unusual cravings, memories, but not visual memories. They're feelings, experiences of memories. And at first, people didn't understand, but they went back. They heard it was possible, so they went back to the person whose heart that they had. And they saw that that person had these kind of cravings, this kind of experiences. So they pulled into their body those experiences. So we know that we have these containers. Now, there's also this idea as we come into our physical being. If we align with the divine, with the spiritual, with our emotional body and our physical body, we can know what our spiritual magnificence are, who we really are. But the conflict comes when the outer world, the human world, tries to define who we are. They put us in a world of polarity. We're either a man or a woman, or we're black or we're white, or what kind of hair we have, or we're too short or too tall or too big or too skinny. Our hair's not right, the tone of our skin, the complexion of our skin. Our words are said in a certain way. Or we don't process things, or we don't have the same physical or mental abilities. And that's judged by the outer world, but the truth is, when we can, and that's not always to do, especially as growing up, to recognize what's true for you. That you are this divine vessel in all ways, and you recognize the uniqueness you are, the love that you are, the spiritual components that you are in all ways. By the way, I took this picture the other day. I was just trying to do a flag of the picture. Do you see the rainbow in it too? I guess the earth was corresponding with it being Pride Month, or just a little spiritual orb there. But I wanted to introduce you to Dr. Temple Grandin. If you don't know her, she's a fascinating, fascinating woman. So she was born autistic. She struggled with life, with relationships. She couldn't read verbal cues. She didn't relate well with people, but she was brilliant, and she knew that about herself. So she found what she did good. She was a scholar, and she could process information, and so she began working with other silent friends, i.e. animals. And so she began to become great friends with cows and horses and farm stock, livestock. And she found that they were much more relatable than people ever understood. And she did groundbreaking work on how to care for animals on ranches and stockyards and the way we treat animals. She's a professor at CSU. I don't know if she used to be a professor at Colorado State University teaching veterinarians. And so she also influenced veterinarians and how they treat animals. And the bottom line is, animals are seen as much more intelligent, much more social than they were seen before. I always thought, a cow? Come on, but no, really, they're very social animals, and they need to be treated with dignity and respect in humane ways. And she had to find that spiritual magnificence. She was to be able to do this. And then I've also been reading about opera singers So this is Lucia Lucas, Elliot Franks, and Brianna Sinclair. They were all well-established opera singers who had a career and was part of their identity, but there was another part of their identity that wasn't being expressed. And that's what their gender expression was, which had nothing to do with their orientation. So each of these people risked their career, and by the way, their voice too, to trans into the man or woman or non-conforming gender that was their true identity. And opera was a perfect place because if you know anything about the history, gender roles are often confused on opera. That men are playing women, women are playing men, so it's the perfect time. And all of them say they'll play any part on stage, but it's who they are in real life is when they can be authentic. So I know Lucia was a tenor and is now a soprano, and Elliot was a soprano, is now a tenor, and Brianna is also a soprano. So they changed their voice, which is, hey, if you know anything about voice, you just don't do that, especially as an opera singer. And they did that because that was who they really were. They had voice coaches tell them, oh, you can't do that, don't risk that. But they did it because in truth, that's who they were. And I know this being Pride Month that there is so much about this that we need to be true to ourselves, and we need to honor those around us who are seeking to express themselves and not put them in polar opposites or assume things when we speak about gender expressions or gender itself or orientations. It's not a polarity, one or the other, it's a spectrum. And people may change that spectrum during their life as they express. And who are we to judge that? Or it may be something within yourself that's seeking to be expressed. And we hope that this is a safe place for you to be able to express all of yourself, all the different components. And even the opera singers I was talking about, they're always real clear that each of them talked about, well, I am more than this trans woman or this trans man. I'm a singer, and I'm a friend and a parent, and all these different aspects of me. So we have these different aspects. What's interesting about the trans community is it seems like it's come up overnight, but it hasn't. The original in 1969, the thing that started the Pride movement was at a bar called the Stonewall Inn that was known as a gay bar, was raided by the police. And the people they arrested were not people who were acting gay or doing anything over-sexual. It was they were dressing not like their gender. That was what the law was. So if it was a woman who dressed like a man, they would be arrested. If it was a man dressed like a woman, they would be arrested. And that had been going on for decades, but this night, they fought back. That's what was different. There was one trans woman who they would put in a police car and she'd get back out. She did that like 4 times. She kept getting back out of the car. I don't know why they didn't lock her in there or something, but and people were watching her do this. And they go, why are we just sitting back and allowing this to happen to us? We can do non-violent resistance. Before any protests they did, they were always asked to dress moderately and stand in a picket line with their signs and orderly lines. That night, things changed. For 6 days, there were riots and protests that were out loud. And a year from then, in June, that was in June of 1969, in June of 1970, they had the first Pride Parade in New York. And they decided they were going to be loud and proud, that they were going to be colorful. And I'm not saying all gays and lesbians are colorful, but I am saying the ones that do want to express that fully were now allowed to be that person. And they did. They showed their colors, and that's why we celebrate with a rainbow flag now. All the colors, all the different expressions of the world, which includes gender expressions now, which includes people of color on the new progressive flag that we fly. And so that they could be loud and proud. And for me, this inspires me, and I hope it inspires you too, to not hold back who you really are. Define yourself, not as defined by other people, but as your own spiritual magnificence you find within you, and be that person. You don't have to be loud about it. Just be clear on who you really are and be true to that. Be true to that which is opening up in you. So in this way, the importance of doing this when we talk about our body being a temple is make sure you're paying attention to your body. I mean, when was the last time you really listened to your body? And did you pay attention to it? Did you follow what it was saying? We can have this divine wisdom within us as intuition. Like I said, our body communicates with us. It never lies. It's always giving us a message that brings us to optimal health, full expression of ourselves. I think of it as being like a warning light on a car. You know, when you have a car, you can do preventive maintenance. You can do the oil changes and things prescribed to certain us. So that's like our bodies. You know, we can do preventive kind of things, exercise, eat nutritiously. But there are times, if we're not paying attention to it, we're not doing that preventive maintenance, the warning light comes on. And if we don't heed that warning light, then our whole car can break down. But generally, the warning light tells us we need to take care of something. Now, there are times that our car breaks down, even when we have done all the maintenance. That just happens sometimes. Our body sometimes has things that happens, and we just go, okay, well, this is my body. I know who I really am, and I can take the steps, I can listen to my body and do steps towards greater health, optimal health. The other, and part of that is listening to our dreams and listening to our intuition. The other night I had a dream that I had a crick in my neck, and I woke up, I had a crick in my neck. Is that prophetic or what? I guess that's sort of like saying I had a dream that I needed to go to the bathroom, and I woke up and needed to go to the bathroom, but I'm just teasing. Because in truth, our dreams can be prophetic, and they can lead us towards something that we need to address. My concern about listening to our body, taking care of our bodies, is it tends to be an all or nothing kind of thing. So if we set a resolution to walk 5 times a week, or to always, or never eat sugar, or never do this, or when we do absolutes with our body, when we stop doing it one time, we go, oh, well, I can't do that. That we give up completely. So because we're not walking 5 times a week, we don't walk at all. So each day is a new day. And each day we schedule it. Now, also, we don't wait till, right before work. Oh, I could have gone for a walk. It's oh, I should have allowed more time to eat something nutritious before I left. We schedule it. We have strong intentions. So intentional living, right? That's what we do. Now, sometimes it doesn't work. But we go back to committing not to a certain resolution, but we're committing to our own self. Our physical being and also our spiritual being in that way. That we can heed the warnings and listen to this openness that we have, this clarity we have with our divine, spiritual, emotional, physical body that's right here. We also want to make sure we're not lying to ourselves or listening to the lies that we are telling ourselves, believing them. We know the truth of our soul, of our spiritual being. And sometimes the judgments of those around us, the images we see on television or in the media, make up our brain makes up lies that we're not that, so there must be something wrong with us. From the Science of Mind teachings, we talk about people being whole, complete, and perfect. That perfect word's really hard to deal with, I know. But let's start with whole. Whole, we are whole beings. We are one, and all parts of us are in this wholeness, that it's all good, all our feelings, all our thoughts, that we're whole and complete. There's nothing missing from us at all. We're complete. There's nothing that we have to do to be better. Now, it's okay to be content with who we are and discontent, to move towards something, because we know what our healthy self is. And when we have a diagnosis or we don't feel comfortable in our body for this reason or that, we can make steps towards correcting that or realigning with that. And here comes the word perfection. Perfection, because the divine within us is perfect. So we have perfect health within us, perfect beingness in us. And it is this perfection that is always true. That our body may be out of alignment in some sort, and we just come back to this alignment, this truth of who we are, that we are whole, complete, and perfect. Dr. Bressel van der Kolk, who wrote a book called The Body Keeps the Score. He's a professor of psychiatry and founded something called the Trauma Center in Brookline, Massachusetts. He said the greatest sources of our suffering are the lies we tell ourselves. The greatest sources. And Sonia Renee Taylor, who wrote the book called The Body is Not an Apology, said, humans are a varied and divergent bunch with all manners of beliefs, morals, and bodies. Systems of oppression, she says, thrive off our inability to make peace with differences and injure the relationship we have with our own body. So I'd say most of us have some sort of discord with our body, and she makes the radical statement that when we feel less than, the systems of oppression in this world take advantage of us or use that oppression for us to feel smaller. And if we are in our power, then those systems of oppression cannot happen to us because we're clear on who we are, no matter what anybody else says. I know that as I was looking at this oak tree this morning and the beautiful, Lori, what are these called? They're just beautiful right now. Chautauqua, pink dawn. And each of those trees, you know, the oak tree doesn't go up there, you know, this beautiful oak tree that is right over our heads right now. It doesn't look at those trees and go, God, I wish I had some pink flowers like that. I don't know, and those are so beautiful. If only I had pink flowers, I'd be so happy. No, it stands in this truth of who it is, this mighty oak. This beautiful oak. Matter of fact, the city came out, we have to trim a small limb off of it because it's pushing down on the electric cords. Minor, just a small limb. It needs to be handled. But it also doesn't go, oh, I'm a loser because I'm pushing against this electricity and I'm not worthy. It doesn't do that. It stands in its truth, fully in its body, fully who it is. And we can do that too. We can be the mighty oak. Or we can be the flowering chautauqua, you know? If that's who we are, let's be that. Let's be who we are, not somebody else. I've been following NBA, obviously because of the playoffs, and I needed to look at some other story other than game one. I will say, I was reminded by the Buddhist that attachment leads to suffering. I thought a 12-point lead after the third period, I could bring my hopes up, but no. That's okay. Game 2 tonight, we're good. But as I said, I've been looking at other stories of NBA players, getting my mind off my suffering. And I don't know if you know the player, Dwayne Wade. He's a retired NBA player. His wife is Gabrielle Union, American actress, award-winning. They have a wonderful family, and you see the third girl from the right. Her name is gotta find it here. Zaya. They knew her until she was 12 as Zeta, their son. He came home one day and said, I think going forward, I'm ready to live my truth, and I want to be referenced as she and her. I would love for you guys to call me Zaya. And Gabrielle Union, being of the acting world, she she go, oh, okay, sure. And Dwayne Wade was from inner city Chicago, and he had a lot of adjustment to make. But he said he kept his mind open, his eyes open, his heart open, his thoughts open. And he was exposed to things through his wife, traveling the world, meeting new people. He's actually been here to Napa Valley many times, touring. And so he adjusted, and he became proud parents of a child in the LGBTQ community, fully embracing. This is his picture of his last game that he played for Miami. And it's a proud family. It's one family. You can see there's a lot of male energy in that family. And they're very all accepting of Zaya and how she has taught everybody about being their true self. And then also Reggie Bullock, who plays for the Dallas Mavericks, he grew up pretty focused on sports, which you'd have to be at an NBA level. But he had a brother that he knew struggled but didn't know how to support him. Well, his brother came out as trans and became a trans woman, but then at the age of 24 was killed, tragically. So that really woke him up that NBA was important, but there are more important things. So he became a strong advocate for all GLBTQ issues in the communities that he played in. And he just recently won the Abdul Jabbar Social Justice Award for his work. So these are people that, you normally wouldn't, they stay pretty focused on their sports, but they come out because they recognize the truth that these people are. And that's what I'm encouraging our community to do, to be open, to keep, as Dwayne Wade said, to keep our eyes open, our hearts open, our souls open to our own experience, to align with our own truth, and to be open to the truth of others as they express it, to listen, to ask questions. What is your experience of that like? To let go of the judgments of others and of ourselves. To not believe those lies, to know your truth, align with what is the highest and best for your physical body, your spiritual body, all aspects of your being. Let's go to prayer. What I know in this moment is we are one, that we are each whole, complete, and perfect. And I know in these coming days that each of us are guided towards a deeper connection, a deeper truth, a deeper understanding of who we really are, and are willing to express this in all ways. For this I know, and so it is. Up, right? Yeah. All right. And this is the right song for now. Song for the right time. That's right. So we choose love.
Wow, that was so powerful. That was so powerful. Yeah. I want to go hang out with the chick in Scottsdale that has the animals and stuff. Yeah. You think she'd let me in, or? Hi. Man. Okay.
Choose love. love. Just do it. Choose love.
Beautiful, beautiful. Choose love. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. So this is a time in our service when we invite you to participate in the law of circulation. We know that what you give comes back to you tenfold, whether it be time, talent, and treasure. We appreciate that what you give to us, and we cherish each of your engagement in our community. So if you will hold up your hand, your heart, in that which you're giving today, whether it be one of love, acceptance, or of monetary contribution, we appreciate it. And we say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is. If you're so giving today, there's baskets in the front and in the back to put them in. Thank you.
I just want to thank you for what you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love set me free. I just want to thank you. Ooh, ooh. bring to me. I just wanna thank you. Your love has set me free.
Beautiful, beautiful. We also like to acknowledge anybody who might be here for the first time. If you are here for the first time, you're willing to raise your hand. We have a gift for you. Online, you can put in the chat box we welcome you from wherever you are, but if it's your first time, you can mention that. Anybody here for the first time? All right, I thought we had all returning people. It's good to see everybody here on this beautiful day. It's a way to celebrate the rain. I just love it here. You know, climate change means change, and it can rain in the summer. We can keep knowing that rain can happen in the summer. So let's keep that up. Let's keep this as a mental equivalent for more rain this summer, as long as it goes with our growing pattern. You know, we gotta. So the highest and best. How about that? I also want to acknowledge the first of the month. Anybody who has a June birthday. Does anybody have a June birthday? Oh, we got a June birthday here. June birthday. 4 June birthdays. 5 June birthdays. 6 June birthdays. Wow. Must have been a good month then. Okay. So June birthdays as well as online, we wish you. And then how about anniversaries? Does anybody have an anniversary? We have an anniversary? How many years? How many?
Today, 11 years.
Oh. Congratulations on keeping up with him. That's what, right? Oh, good. And Stephanie? 25. That's beautiful. We also, I know they're anonymous, but we also celebrate anybody who might be celebrating a sobriety anniversary as well. So we always honor that month by month. Let's give them a round of applause too. So we have a blessing here for anniversaries, birthdays, and everybody. So we just raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And so it is. Beautiful, beautiful. We are invited to stay in this sanctuary for prayer and contemplation if you so want to. There's outside, we have lots of donuts, by the way. Some good coffee, so join us out there. Good conversation as always. Green bags are available. Books are available for you if you want to take these. Have a look at those. And just join us in community. And I don't think I mentioned meditation is now at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. So make that, if you come to that on Wednesdays, make sure that's a note. So we just bless you right where you are as we do the community affirmation. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I am guided by wisdom.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am protected by love.
I'm protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
And so it is. And we have a new closing song for our June and going forward.
I'd like to thank the crew. I don't know if we've ever done, but you guys are amazing back there. They're like running a television studio back there. Yeah.
I release, I let go, let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. I'm only here for God.
With my faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit. My only gift for life. Come on, clap your hands. Please, I let go. Let the spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I'm free in the spirit. 'Cause I'm only here for God. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Right on.
All right. We are blessed in the Spirit, and so be it. Have a great Sunday. And go Warriors, right?
You know, when I talk